I know that I understand from JJ, Ann was here last week talking about emergency. So I have put together some material on emergency preparedness from a different perspective from the station behind the scenes, but I also walk through some of the significant things we've done recently over the last while. And so I'll get into this. And by the way, Nancy, you forgot my $4 on the desk there. So yeah. I'm happy my partner's daughter's birthday's today. So there you go. All right. Come on, baby. So once upon a time when they created this radio station, they didn't really know, if they could do it as far as being an essential service. You can have volunteer stations, community stations, but being an essential service is a pretty high target to be reliable in that regard. And it's something that did get, put right as part of the mission of the station. And it's something that we just got to constantly work on all the time. And we have the programs that are on constantly every week. We have 107 volunteers right now, and that doesn't include people that do some voice work and other things. Over 6,000 messages a year on the air for nonprofits and charitable groups that are done at no charge, and then there's others that people pay for. And all the time the county sends out those notices, they just constantly pour out each day saying this road's closed or this is going on. So we do our best to get those on the air, especially when they seem relevant, right? When something's being closed down. So that's just an ongoing process every day. As far as the grapevine, it's there. There's like 27 volunteers that build the grapevine that happens each day. And over 23,000 volunteer hours and things like the weather alerts and all the road safety stuff that occurs. The news has been really interesting because, as you know, news has been like just crazy. People don't want to believe 80% of what's online, etc. So we've really worked at how to work with some of the other stations in the community, being towards Kingston or Cobourg, and working hard on having a good balanced set of news and checking what we're putting on the air. One of the things that was really helpful too is the local journalism initiative. So you may have seen Brenda Little out and about. She's been doing this now for about 2.5 years. We could not have afforded it without that initiative. So she does about 20 hours a week of, she'll do the council meetings and then stay up late doing that. But she's also a lot of other major events that are on in the community, things that are on the go to relay those stories all the time. And those stories, they end up on air, but they also end up on something called frequency.ca, which is tied into the local journalism initiative. So things like the push ceremony for the fire truck, you'll go on there and you'll be able to see they'll have the audio, there'll be written story and the visuals. So those all show up there. If you go into Frequency CA and you put in Prince Edward County as an example, and that's a shared service across Canada. We do lots of community events, as you know, all the time. Lilac Ride coming up on May 24th, right? Yay, so it'll be exciting. And then we've been doing major projects. We took on the story about the Heights, and then we got into the unhomed in our community and what it's like in a rural community and how that differs. So that is something that was really important to us. And I couldn't believe all the interviews they did. There was about 60 interviews that were done overall with people in this area in Belleville and Napanee. The other thing we took on was scammers. And it's interesting, the county, one of the things they said was the psychological impact to families when you're scammed. A lot of people don't want to tell someone when they're scammed, but there also is there's impact throughout the family that's hard to really define. And my father got taken for $6,000 and the people actually came to his apartment and to collect the money. He could have been beaten up and left there for dead or whatever. You don't know, right?
Great. Can I get into the system? I don't think they're seeing it.
Okay. Just do Caroline again for a while.
Yeah, we could do that. We need to do is get this.
We're just seeing the first screen.
Yeah, okay.
Greg Mills with 99.3 County FM.
Uh-oh. Yeah, well, there frozen for a second.
As I hope you know, this is not a company truck. This is good for this.
Yeah, no. Just the whole system is frozen up right now. There we go. Okay. Minimize that. Let's go to share. We're screen sharing, so what the heck is... Yeah, well, we should be, okay.
I could just email it to them afterwards and
Yeah,
just listen
well,
in.
yeah, it should be like that. Okay, where the heck are we here? Where is your presentation? Okay, let's go to PowerPoint. Can't read it. Okay, great.
So the cookies are gone, baby, stir it.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Yeah, it just, we need to be able to share this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You need to start the slideshow before you share.
Yep. Sure, okay, let's do that. Okay. How are we doing? Are we seeing it now?
They hit slideshow up.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Let me just be,
Just move on to the next slide, or
okay. For
No,
the current slide.
you
You might have
you-
to go down. Okay.
you can't share and then start the slideshow. You have to start the slideshow and then share.
Okay. Let's do that again. Stop sharing. Okay.
Now,
So you
yeah.
have to start the show. Okay.
Start the show and then share, and then Alt Tab to get to the right window.
Next slide. Okay, okay, so we have started it. And then we need to go to Zoom and got to work with.
This is 4 people.
Okay.
Seven.
Okay.
So did you stop the show?
Stop the share. Okay. So we can start that.
Start show.
Well, okay. Okay, so,
So we're seeing slide 3 now.
okay, so are you seeing anything
Oh, now we're back to the.
back to that? Okay, well, we don't want to be back to that. Oh, shit. Okay.
Isn't that what you?
Oh, no, we want to PowerPoint. Okay. Screen sharing has stopped. Let's go back to PowerPoint then.
Now go to start. Now go to this. Go to Zoom.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, right here. Okay,
And then share.
okay,
Share that screen. Yeah. Then share.
and sure.
Then hit start slideshow. So now hit.
So what do we?
Let me see it.
Yeah, sure.
Just do it from there and go through the slides from this screen.
There you go.
Are you guys seeing the first slide?
Nope.
There we go.
You cannot start the slideshow after sharing.
Can I make a suggestion? Can we give up on this and I'll do the presentation here and we'll just send the slides to the people at home afterwards? Is that okay? Thank you. Wherever the heck we were. All right. So talking about the scammers and the work we do with the scammers. So getting interviews with people who have been scammed was not easy, right? You know, but I was amazed the volunteers were able to bring a lot of people together. We had everything from the romance scams to people investing in property in Florida or wherever it was. So we're really proud of that one. It went well. The next thing last year, you may have heard the reflections of lives and times, and we still have that on right now. We worked with Peter Locke here on that one and a team of people. So we had 23 stories, and they're also online right now on our website. You can check them out, and we play them each day. And there's so many of them. I don't think they're that repetitive, you know, when you hear them on the air. So it was really nice to bring those to life. And we have other stories that we want to be doing. So these are just some of the kind of things over and above the normal operating the station that we take on. We can't do a lot of these, right? We can do, you know, 1 or 2 of these a year that are larger, over and above. And then we've been celebrating our success, of course, with things like the concert at the Regent, at the Andrew with the musicians, and every day we're playing. We say we play a minimum of 8 local artists every day, but I know it's way more than that. And that was kind of like a minimum. Most recently, the Seniors in Technology. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but we did some live events where we brought people together, shared information, and then we created a series that was on the air this year in February and March, and that as well is online, available right now. And there were all different perspectives, and we interviewed people that were quite amazing in different areas of Canada with really high quality interviews regarding that topic. So. Oh, and I do not want to play that. I don't need to. Go away. Okay. And so all the stuff's great, you know, and everybody's loving the county, enjoying it and everything we do. And then we get into the lovely stuff like we did, you know, a few years back with the winter storm, and we've had other winter storms. So with the Ready Piece being so, you know, a new thing that they've launched, they talked about last week. So it's top of mind from that area, but we've also been doing a lot behind the scenes at our station. And so I'm going to get into that a little bit with you, because in times like what was going on during that emergency, you know, I was at home, family was somewhere else. I wasn't able to leave my house for about 3 or 4 days, whatever it was. But we were able to feed audio. You can record something on your phone now, send it to the station, put in a certain code, and it'll show up a certain place on air. So if we have emergency that happens, there's a lot of times people haven't been able to make it to the station for whatever reason on time, or just to keep things up to date overnight. We're able to do that now. And, you know, and on the water, we've got our marine reports, which we've been doing for now 6 years. So we've got a team ready for this year again, which is amazing. Spike Lee's in the morning and Matthew in the afternoon doing those now. So a lot of the stuff for our role in emergency, you know, there's the digital system we've put in place too that carries the national announcements, you know, those things, the Amber Alerts that override your phone, all of that. But it also is capable of doing much more than that. So that goes right through our system, and basically we got taken over when that happens. So it can happen anytime to us. But we've created an emergency handbook for all the volunteers so that they know better what's going on. We have the Quinte Amateur Radio Club. We actually have like a ham set at our place locked up. We've got 2 ham operators. When the station was created, there's actually a separate wire and antenna in our place so they can use it as a base camp if necessary. And we work with the police and the fire department. So a lot of the things we started in 2021 for emergency have really grown during this time. And you know, what we want to do is be ready. And a lot of these things you don't know until something's wrong, right? Like until a winter storm happens or whatever, you don't realize, you never think that, well, no one's going to be able to be on the roads to get to the station. So what's that going to mean if there's a problem, or to the transmitter, et cetera? So working through all of those. We worked on emergency types, what kinds of emergencies. So being ready for natural disasters or fire or chemical accident, or like in, you know, in Wellington, when they had the threat to the propane, you know, what does that mean? Military situation, which we didn't really take too seriously until like January, you know? So all those type of things. And then from those, we built out a program of what does it mean? If there's this kind of threat to us, how many times does it need to be on the air? So is it immediate we take over what we're doing? Is it on 3 times an hour, 4 times an hour? So we have a schedule and how long those messages will stay on. One of the things we did, I don't know if any of you took part in our emergency preparedness survey. We made that available to the public, and we've actually reposted it right now on our website. If you go to our site and you type in emergency, you'll find it. The idea was to get a feel from the community of what they knew before we did a series on air and then survey them again. But it also provided a place where you could learn. So a lot of people don't think about some of the basic things in your home. You know, if someone asked me in my weird home how certain things work, you may not be able to answer quickly, you know, and so it's knowing things too, like a safe meeting spot, all those kind of things. You know, don't use your phone when it's a really busy system. Don't talk to people on the phone. Use text if you have to reduce the drain on the system overall in the case of an emergency. You know, do you have an extra battery backup for your phone or a little power source in case of emergency? Those type of things we got into. And We had good response from the different wards all through the county. And some of these pieces here, I know that's very, very hard to see. It's even hard for me to see here, but do you have an emergency readiness plan for you and your family? So what do we have there? It's like, I can't even read that, but it's about 38% or something said yes. You know, do you have a battery powered radio? And some of these things are so basic, right? Like, you know, go to Home Hardware and buy one for $35 to have one in your house. The other thing is if, you know, people still have clock radios, you know, I've got a few of these floating around. A lot of people never put a battery in the bottom of them. Really basic. You know, if you have a clock radio, just flip it over, throw a battery, and then you've got a backup one at least. So things like that. Weather radios, I don't know if anybody here owns one of these. I've owned them the odd time, and they have the signal comes from all across Canada in different places. So they're another way of having a backup information. So a lot of the stuff is online right now too. You can see it on our website. But do you have a meeting place? You know, only 34% said they had a meeting place. So that type of feedback we were getting from everybody and about emergency readiness. A lot of people too, they really, you know, they knew that the station could be on the air 24/7 in times of emergency, which is great. So we've done well getting that message across. And we have a generator out at the tower, and it goes about 7 days on propane, that one. And then the one at the station can only last about 2 days. But the thought was right at the farm center, and there'd be easier access to propane. So, but some of the things you don't think of, like let's say in a winter storm, all of a sudden we have notifications from our transmitter that's overheating in the middle of a winter storm because the snow had blown to one of the ducts and it was actually generating too much heat in it. So then we contact Princeton's. They told me it was a suicide mission to go out there, and I'm looking for somebody with an Argo to go out in the middle of the blizzard to get out to the transmitter to figure out why it's overheating. So it's all that kind of stuff that we just have to work through and get backups and members from the community to help us with to work through those situations. I always think the farm center is probably one of the safest buildings in the whole county. The walls are about 2.5 feet thick. So I don't feel like I should be running anywhere when I'm in that building, you know, to go somewhere else. So there's a picture of Matt with the snowshoes on going out to check things in the winter because the roads have so much snow on them, you have to get them plowed. During COVID, you can't really see there with Vanessa, though there's plastic screening around her and everything else. We have created, so our transmission system, we have created our transmitter has about 7 fans in it. So one fails, it ends up generating a little less power than normal, then another fan could fail. Gets down to a certain level, then it goes to a backup transmitter we have now in there. And part of that system as well, there's a feed. If you have a car that you see the music on it, we've added that in the last couple of years. You might see the song. Most of the songs are there. There's ways of also putting emergency data on there too. We've redone all of our hardware, like most of the hardware in our place has been redone the last few years. The software has been updated to make it a lot more stable. We have backups on site and off site. So all those things have happened. And with COVID, we ended up buying a lot of gear for the news team. So we have a lot of stuff off site now. And the Parrot Foundation helped us with these rooms. So we have 2 rooms now, a smaller one and a bigger one that we use for producing shows, doing news. But part of the idea of these was that they're right beside each other, and you could actually have like a musician in one side or someone being interviewed and someone else on the other side. So think about pandemics and people keeping apart and safety. So this has all been put into the station now. And this was used to be like just a room with one table in it, a folding table. So that's been a huge help. And our new studios in action. So those are some of the kind of things we've been doing, and it's been through the help of you know, the donors. Basically, our place runs 60% advertising and 40% is donations and grants. And grants are great, but you can only take about 10 or 15% max towards operations. So it's a combination of factors. So Radiothon is coming June 4 to 7. And so this year we're really promoting sort of a Grown Here theme, agriculture, a salute to the agriculture community. We have Jane Thompson as our honorary chair this year. So hope you tune in then. We've got tons of artists all lined up. So that's what I was saying. You go to emergency, go to our website, 99.3countyfm.ca, search on emergency, you'll find more of that information. And I really appreciate the opportunity to come and say hi to all the Rotarians and being here in Picton. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Questions? Yep,
Rob.
I
I'm
have
in
a
trouble.
question about the emergency part of the topic. You said a meeting place. What exactly do you mean by that?
Can't hear Rob.
I'm right on my mic.
Regarding a meeting place?
Meeting place, what is that, in your home or in a public place somewhere?
Well, in our example, for instance, at work, we have a hydro pole out front to meet. And the home may have somewhere else in your community that you decide is a meeting spot. But somewhere designated that if you all run in 4 different directions, that you'll circle back to, and it's a safe spot that, or at least it's perceived as safe at the time, that has less threat at it, you know, so. Yeah.
Jane was a guest of ours a couple of times. Great, perfect.
Other questions?
Question from JJ. Craig, what percentage of your annual budget comes from advertising?
It's about 60%.
Okay.
It's from local and from the modest amount of national stuff we get.
So when I hear help us make up the difference, you're talking about the rest of it, the other 40% that's needed to keep operating at the same level that you're operating at. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
the operation overall, you know, you're looking at like almost $500,000 a year operation, right?
Yeah.
So it takes a few dollars.
And how much did the Radiothon bring in last year?
Last year, $73,800 about.
Okay. And what are you looking for this year?
77.
Okay.
So just a modest increase, you know,
Yep.
our hydro's been going up and everything else, right? So same as everybody at home. I appreciate that, but so.
Don?
Yeah, I was just wondering if somebody was interested in getting involved in your station as a volunteer, what kind of positions do you have and who should they contact?
If they could contact myself, that'd be fine. Depends on what they're interested in doing usually. I mean, there's stuff that we've been looking for a long time. We've been looking for a French host for our French show at night. You know, we do have a role right now for a donations coordinator that we're looking for. I'm looking for an Indigenous host for our Indigenous show. We've got someone who creates the music, but we'd like a host for that. Other things that are wider, you know, administrative, news team, all of that kind of thing. Usually we just, you know, I'd feed it to Craig Foster, the news director, if they wanted to do news, so. Yeah.
Okay, one last question.
Okay, the $4.
I put it over there. We good?
Yep, we're good.
Thanks again.
We got that go. We can see. I broke the internet.
Game was plugged still in there.
Yeah, your plug is still there.
I think you can just hit speed.
Okay. What's going on? It seems.
Okay, we're going to carry on here. First off, in recognition of your talk today, we want to donate 50 polio vaccinations in your name, so thank you. Okay.
Hey, I gave 10 happy bucks, I guess, and I'll explain why. Yesterday, some background. So we have regular monthly meetings or luncheons with retired teachers. And Sandy was a teacher, and there were about 20, 25 retired teachers. And over the years, I've provided advice, banking advice about air miles or cash back, etc. So yesterday I received an email from one of these people that I've helped before, and they told the story about they're having trouble with sending an Apple gift card to a friend who was dying, and she wanted to, it was their birthday, and she wanted to give this money like to them to help them. So she said she was having difficulty doing it. So I said, sure. So anyway, I went on and I was able to do it. She was going to reimburse me. And so I sent $300. So then an email came back saying, well, it wasn't enough.
Oh,
So
boy.
needed another $200. So I tried to send another two. I tried to contact this person, but I didn't have an up-to-date phone number. And I sent an email, but anyway, I didn't hear back. So I tried to send the $200. Well, first of all, Amazon refused to do it. And then also the bank refused to do it. And they blocked my account. So I ended up was talking to my son later, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm pretty smart when it comes to banking, etc. And, you know, I wouldn't get caught in a scam. But anyway, Dad, you know, I think you've been scammed. So anyway, I called Amazon. I called the bank first, and they ended up canceling my credit card, which I think I didn't really have to do because no one had that information. But I called Amazon, and I believe they're going to give me the $300 back. So that's my happy bucks. But I can't believe, you know, in retrospect, when I look at this, at the emails, like the first two were the email that we used all the time. Then partway through, they switched to, instead of Simpatico, at Hotmail. So then I was communicating, like I asked for the phone number. They gave me a phone number and I called it, and it was as it turns out, even though it was a 613, it was somewhere in Florida. So anyway, just beware. So that's my happy thoughts.
Thanks, Jim. Just a note of interest, we will have a fraud prevention talk on June 2nd. The OPP will be coming in. So I've heard this pitch a little bit before, but I'm sure it's been updated with the introduction of AI. Okay, yes, Nancy.
I'm just gonna add on one thing that has just happened to me recently. I'm on Facebook a lot and I do a lot of reposting. And I have found recently when I'm about to do a repost, there's already a message there, not my message. So it's AI kicking in. So pay attention to what's going on.
Yep.
Also, while I've got the microphone, the past President's Night is ramping up and ready to rock and roll. JJ will be back and we'll really get things underway. $60 per guest. We have a maximum of 80 guests and you can pay at the door here every week. Joan's about to send out an invitation so you can do it on Zephy as well. Oh, it's already been sent out, so there you go. And you will see a very lovely picture of the past presidents from last year.
Good, thanks, Nancy. Okay, so
June the 15th.
Okay, moving on. So we heard earlier Lynn Snee's birthday today. It's also Nora Rogers' birthday today. And Dawn and Rosalind, 47 years. Congratulations.
Woo-hoo.
Are there any announcements? We seem to have been missing that in previous meetings. Any announcements? Oh, of course, Doug. Sorry, Doug. Kind of.
Don't say that. Eh?
Well, kinda.
I just want to reiterate, JJ, thank you for sending out your email regarding the safety vest. Interestingly enough, I've only heard from one Rotarian, that's David Burns. You have one. So I'm waiting for Mr. Wild to get back. He's Wilder, sorry, due this weekend, I believe.
Doug, you might want to check with Bob Bird's family. He may have some.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yep.
All right. I have checked the storage. There is none at the storage. So we're still looking. I'm down to 12 at this point in time.
Wow. Okay. Next week's speaker is Debbie McDonald Moyne. She's going to be talking to us about Probus. And unless there is anything else in the interest of Rotary.
Yes, sir.
Oh, money.
Well, excuse me. Chase the ace. Here we go, Maurice.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
speaking of scams, a warning, if you see a $5 or $10 charge, not accepted on your credit card, refused on your credit card, you're gonna notice in the bank saying a charge has been declined. Be very cautious, because another notice will come through asking you to confirm your credit details. So,
Into the mic, please.
be aware of that one. So we now have, I don't know how many cars, and let's say about 45 tickets in the thing, $92.50 to be won. And great, would you give me the first ticket? And we are looking at 761.
761 right here. That's me.
Oh, that was easy.
I don't want the ace.
You don't want the eight?
I don't want the ace.
I know. There's 4 aces in there, so you've got a pretty good chance.
Have you shuffled?
It's a new pack. No X. 7 of clubs. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you give me another one, please.
Here you go.
And the number is 793.
Arnold has it 793.
Luck of the Irish. Nice try, hey. We're going for straight. Would you give me one more, please? Seven, 6, 2. Sorry.
Not me.
Okay, 7, 6, 2.
No winner.
6. No winner,
Okay, we've got cleanup, and have we got a volunteer to take the food to Rock? Not all at once. Okay, Grant Reynolds will do that for us. Thank you, Grant. Now, if there's nothing else in the interest of Rotary, I declare the meeting closed.
Thank you very much. Nice work, Murray. Bye now.